Variety and loneliness, they seem to go hand in hand. As a drinker, it's easy to feel alone and isolated. But when we get sober and we still feel that way, how can we get to a point where we don't feel that way anymore and want to drink at it? Hi, everybody. My name's Josh, Living Life Alcohol, and I have some tips, some tricks, some ideas on how you may be able to get through your lonely feelings and get to the other side of your addiction. Number one, why do we drink to quiet loneliness? Why do we do that? So it's really a distraction. So we have thoughts that we're maybe not good enough. Maybe we don't fit in. Maybe we just don't have the people in our lives that we want or we feel like we need in our lives. Maybe people aren't there for a reason. But we drink through those feelings, and it kind of quiets the lonely voice in our head, and to the point where alcohol literally becomes a friend of ours. We then may have decreased motivation to find friendships, to be social, because we may have hangovers. We might not feel good the next day. And the next thing we know, we're seeking friendship in a bottle, and then we're doing that over and over and over again to the point where we're not really able to meet friends, and we're also not working on our social skills. It kind of quiets those negative feelings and helps us and gives us solace in our loneliness, but it never really addresses the issues. We become sober, so then what? We aren't any different than we were as a drinker. We still have the same circle of people. They may not be there enough, and we may be looking for more camaraderie. We might be looking for groups of people, but we just don't know where to look. I recently had somebody on one of my group forums talk about being on about day 5 of not drinking, and how she's worried that she may drink because of these feelings. And I thought, I haven't made a video about that yet. I was a lonely person growing up. I was an only child. I had friends, but I didn't really have like close friends that were there all the time. I didn't have like really family as an adult. So once I started using alcohol to cope with things, the social aspect of everything kind of just went by the wayside. I didn't really want to be around people anymore. I found friendship in a bottle, literally. We all know that that's not a good way to go. Now we're sober and we're looking for more. So what do we do? The first thing we can do if we're wanting to quit alcohol and we're wanting to stay sober but we're feeling lonely is recognize that our feelings aren't really different from how other people in the world are feeling. There's a lot of people out there that are struggling with this. So if we can find a group of like-minded people, even if it's online, but in person could be even better if you can find one. I personally found a group online at the beginning of the pandemic when we were all at home, found that group, and I stayed on that group day by day by day, and I was able to form and build relationships with the people that were online, to the point where I would post something and I might get 10 comments in the first 20 minutes. People were on there that frequently, and that really helped me get through in the early days. When somebody tells me that in person is better, that online isn't very good, they don't get it. It was beneficial to me 100% to have someone at my fingertips, or multiple people telling me, hey, you're not alone. You can do this. Just keep checking in and we can get through this. Another thing that we can do is don't linger in the feelings that we're having. Get out of your head. Tony Robbins, famous motivational speaker, said, if you stay in your head, you're dead. And he's not wrong. If you were able to just step out of your own head, talk to like-minded people, get out and take a walk, pay attention to your dogs or pets, cats, whatever you have, and instead of dwelling on those feelings of loneliness, find some things that don't make you feel lonely. Focus on those, let the urge to drink pass, and then move on to the next thing. Number three is a grieving the addiction. Grieve your addiction. I didn't properly grieve any situation when I started drinking at 15 years old. So when I quit when I was 42, I had years and years of things that I didn't properly grieve. Relationships, in particular, things that didn't work out in my life. I didn't properly grieve because I drank at those things. But when we quit drinking, we actually have to grieve the death of our addiction, move on from it. Before we can move on, grieve it. Say, I appreciated that, you were there my entire life. You helped me through thick and thin, but now I have to say goodbye. And however long that takes to get to that point, it needs to be done so we can put that bottle down and let it just rest in peace, and we don't need it. Talk to somebody. Just just get on an app, go to a group, do whatever you can. Call a friend, call a relative, whatever you can do, talk to somebody. Tell them how you feel. Be vulnerable. Another thing is to stay busy. We can find things that we find enjoyable. Maybe cleaning the house is enjoyable to you. Maybe going for a walk is enjoyable for you, or playing with your pets, or going shopping, or going to a movie, or any of these things can help you stay busy, stay distracted, and however long that urge to drink might last, you can get on with it, and you'll be stronger for the next urge if you can get through that urge. And just build relationships in any way that you can. Now that you're sober, you have a lot more free time. So meet some people online, go out, talk to people, step out of your comfort zone and find ways to do that, to get to know people, because people and community is what this is really all about. Drinking was the community, was the solution, was life as a drinker. People and communities end up being what can really get us through. And sometimes we need therapy, sometimes we need medication, sometimes we need a spouse, a relative, or a friend. Really just forming relationships with like-minded people that have gone through this, that really understand. I didn't understand the impact of support groups until I found a sober community. And there's support groups for everything almost. Illnesses, addictions, you name it. If we look into our communities, we can find places to go, online forums to go. Those can be a lifeline, because nobody knows what you're going through unless they themselves have been through it. So if you can find a group like that, you can find a therapist like that, those types of people are really going to help you in your loneliness and your feelings of being trapped, your negative emotions, your feelings. So you're here, take solace that you're here. I have a group, Sobriety in the Storm, on Facebook. I'll pin the link below in the comment section. Come on over. I'm glad you're here. Like and subscribe if you found value in this video. Take a look at some of my other videos. I hope to see you soon. Any comments you have, feel free to post them below. I love seeing people interact, and I love interacting with people, especially like-minded people like yourselves. Have a great day, everybody.